Hey guys, and welcome back to Corpse Party Blood Drive. So we're gonna jump right into chapter 7. So we just finished chapter 6. That was a huge chapter with a whole bunch of things that are happening. But basically, Misuto is the bad guy. So let's see what we have to do from now on. And also, the wall dividing the heavenly host and the real world is broken. And that was the black spot in the sky. So Blood Drive chapter 7, Determination. Let's check it out. Okay. It's the end of the world as we know it. Alright, very typical. The sounds of fire trucks and patrol cars echoed through the streets. The sky was dark, the air was stale, and many strong, cold gusts of winds bore mass amounts of dust and debris. I didn't envy the reporter her job, as she seemed mere moments from being blown off her feet. But to her credit, she persevered. Behind her, there was the black shadow of the old man. I'm here reporting on what's been dubbed as the nationwide ghost disaster state, which local representatives claim is now in effect as of last night. This string of unexplained and potentially unexplainable deaths that have been plaguing the city presently shows no signs of letting up. Wow. Suspicious and sudden demises, homicides and unknown motives, and reporting of paranormal visitations are all increasing at an alarming rate. The police forces in each prefecture are still weighing their options for dealing with this issue, and few have made any official statements thus far, frustratingly. Oh, what the heck? Got like all fuzzy-wuzzy. The old man's shadow in the background began acting strangely, jumping in place and making various other aimless motions. I actually don't see that old guy. I don't know what she's talking about. Anyways, the Metropolitan Police, meanwhile, have suggested that all local travel to safe locations in groups of 3 or more as soon as possible. Remain indoors until further notice. The sudden devastating appearance of the black pillars throughout Japan last night have also led to the MLIT to declare a state of emergency, setting up disaster shelters and lookouts. Official word from the local bureaus on how the pillars are affecting traffic, the status of damage to the rivers, as well as countermeasures being taken can be seen here. Experts have analyzed the pillars' composition and concluded that they're made of previously unknown material. They are tossed around names like spirit matter and entity wall. Due to their rapid growth and complete inability of even seismographs to predict where they may spawn, the number of casualties is quite high, and global tensions are even higher. Everything up to and including industrial cutters and blades have been employed in an attempt to cut through these objects, but with absolutely no effect. The Ministry of Defense is using JSDF data to explore the strong possibility that these pillars are related in some ways to the aerosphere that hovered in our skies only days ago. I have here a list of newly appointed relief shelters, so if you live in one of the designated evacuation areas, please take note of the information on your screen. The information is also available on our website and through our mobile app, but do note that any gymnasium and schools shown in white are full, so you'll need to look elsewhere. We strongly recommend that you proceed to the nearest open facility as soon as possible. Alright, so obviously a state of emergency for this area, for Japan. But if these things can sprout out anywhere without warning and give you no time to escape, evacuation is meaningless. There's not a damn thing anybody can do to stay safe. Whether you die or not is just dumb luck. When the hell are the police going to get off their asses and make a statement? Are they scared of public outcry? Are they hiding something? The middle-aged announcer was yelling at the top of his lungs, and in an absolute frenzy, he kicked his studio desk to the ground. A black shadow of a woman could be seen behind him. Alright. So, there you have it. Shit is hitting the fan. Class rep. Shinozaki. Ayumi. Shinozaki. Miss Yui, what? Miss Yui's here? Oh, so these are all the people that have died. That is the class rep that has all these girls, all these characters have died in Corpse Party 1. So that's the teacher, that's the camera guy, that is the class rep, that's the girl with the little bow tie. That's why they even did the ceremony, because they be together, and that's her best friend. So thank you for bringing us back to life, Mayu. You mean I did it? Shit's gonna hit the fan. Nope. But a whole lot more people have died now. Huh? The room grew dark, and each of the 4 figures who stood before me slowly melted into blackness, becoming indistinct silhouettes. Even Mashida, Nakashima, and Kishinuma have died. So in the last episode, we saw that they were on the top of the pillar, and apparently they got crushed. So we don't know if they actually died or not, but from what Ayumi saw, that's what she said. So many people gone. What's this? Even we haven't actually been revived, huh? What was it you were even trying to accomplish, Ayumi? No. No! I screamed and looked up. It was just a dream. I was at home watching TV. I scrunched myself back up, putting my face in my knees. Bringing them back, bringing them back. I was like a broken record with that, but it was a doomed idea from the start. Everything I've done has been pointless, so what do I do now? I thought I could have revived them. I really did. I mean, if I can just come back from Rashigi's house, despite those injuries and losing my sister, then anybody could be able to come back. I raised my face from my knees, eyes red and burning. Then, as if I hadn't already had enough tragedy in my life, I heard a loud crash just outside my house. It was an unmistakably a car wreck, and a rather severe one at that. So there was a car crash outside. The car's alarm was going off, but I was trying to do my best to ignore it. I didn't need this right now, so I simply wasn't going to bother with it. Sis, what do I do, sis? Sis. Alright, let's go check out what we have to do. Come over here. We're gonna go into someone's room. Alright, up next, we've learned that the CEO of PL Promotions Co. Inc. is among those who have gone missing. So, obviously, she has also gone missing. Alright, so this is the house. Let's see where we have to go. So, we're gonna go towards the entrance. Alright, that's pretty cool though. I really like this. This would be a cool game if it wasn't horror-based. Like just a normal little kid game or something. The car alarm outside was still going off, and it was getting louder and harder to ignore by the second. Whoever was ringing my doorbell was really persistent. The irregular sound brought me back to reality. I crept over to the peephole and silently looked through it to see who would be visiting me this hour. On the other side of the door stood a man I didn't recognize. He had short hair, and he was pressing the chime frantically as if his life depended on it. Who is that? I was kind of creeped out. I really shouldn't open the door. I moved away from the peephole. Okay, what's going on? Looks like he's still ringing the doorbell. The persistent ringing continued for a bit, and then finally, thankfully, came to an abrupt halt. I slowly crept back to the peephole and took another look. The man was still there. He was just pacing back and forth in place, in front of the house that, for all he knew, had no occupants. After another short while, he approached the door again and immediately put his eye right up outside the peephole. If I move now, he'd totally know I'm here. The man moved his head away, but quickly replaced it with his finger, which he swirled around and around inside the tight space as if he was trying to reach for my eye or poke it out. Then he stepped away from the door. I could have taken this opportunity to slowly move away from the peephole, but I was oddly transfixed. Thank God. Now all he has to do is leave. Of course, the second I thought of that, he came back to the door yet again. And yet again, he skipped the doorbell and went straight for the peephole. What does he want? And why isn't he saying anything? This really is creeping me out. Well, fine then. I'll just open the door and give him a piece of my mind. You're a fucking idiot, Ayumi. I grabbed the doorknob and was moments away from following through with that plan when suddenly... Whoa! Ayumi, Sachiko. Don't open it. What? He's dead. Sachiko? What? Why, she's helping us now? I slowly turned to look at her. The Nirvana is the world of the dead, and the world is coming here. Then, there was an oddly familiar sound. Another car accident, again, right outside my door. This time, I looked outside through the peephole and saw a man from earlier, sandwiched between a car and the wall of the house across the street. He was absolutely mangled. But after only a few moments, the man's corpse disappeared, leaving nothing but a shadow in its place on the wall and the ground alike, a black stain. What is this? What's happening to the world? Not that I even really had to ask. Is this from breaking down the walls of the Nirvana? I wasn't just asking myself, I was asking Sachiko, whose presence is still remained just behind my back. But she just looked up at me with sad eyes. That person just now was one of the deceased, and if he turned into a black stain, then... No, it couldn't be. I pulled my smartphone from my pocket and forced myself to remain calm enough to access the photo, but then just stopped and stared. God, no! Okay. Looks like the photo that she had of her best friend is probably gone already. The photo disappeared on my phone, which was now just on the floor. No longer had just my friends from before with blacked out faces, but Mashida, Nakashima, and Kishinuma as well. Alright, so everyone, apparently, using this is probably dead. This is a good indicator of that. That's kind of crazy. They killed them off? That's kind of nuts. I pounded the floor with both my hands and shuddered violently. Thou shalt repent, cult leader. Oh! The end of the world is nay. Oh! God shall not forgive those who are unclean and indiscreet. Oh! Some cultist group was speaking on TV. I guess the news must have ended at some point when I wasn't paying attention. The end of the world, huh? This time, I was just plain talking to myself. Oh, look at that. It's her. Magari. She made it back. That's right. The end. Who would ever thought that the last remaining Yagora could have enough suicide bomber determination to dream up something like this? Magari appeared in my hallway. I had no idea how long she'd been there, nor how she'd gotten in. I noticed she still had her heels on, though. It's you! Wait, she fell off the top of the floor. I stood up, and Sachiko was, as always, waiting in the wings behind me. I came back with the Ever After stones, used them in mid-air while I was falling down the bell tower. Heavenly Host is totally destroyed, though, so these are just plain ordinary stones now. To demonstrate, Magari snapped the two together. Nirvana, I summoned the dead. See? I probably flinched, but she was right. Nothing happened. Within the next few hours, the world will be blanketed in chaos. It's going to be a new land of the dead. Sucks, huh? This is seriously the cataclysm. And to top it all off, that's my order on TV there. Fucking shameless, aren't they? There, or even I've got to draw the line at some point. She pulled back her chin and flashed me a strained smile. Oh yeah, your parents went crazy and joined, so you know. This day couldn't have gone much worse for me. Are you okay leaving things like this then? Magari wasn't mincing words, it seems. Alright, Ayumi's going crazy, like always. I held my head in both hands and looked down at the ground. If you feel responsible, come with me for a bit. I have something to discuss with you about your bloodline. Magari approached me and grabbed my arm. Sachiko, still right behind me, began growling like a guard dog. Get your hands off me. I can't even save my friends. I can't do anything. I don't know what the hell the difference the blood of the Shinozaki is supposed to make, but I'm just Ayumi, and Ayumi's worthless. Besides, the person who first introduced the Nirvana to this world was Yoshi, not me. I screamed as loudly and as fiercely as I could. I didn't do anything wrong. I closed my eyes and cried the hardest I've ever cried, sobbing so intensely that I found myself nearly hyperventilating. Damn, get bitch smacked. Magari slapped me down to the ground. You're one stubborn bitch, you know that? Get the hell out of... Got a hell of an ego, too. For once in your life, suck it up. I held my cheek and continued sobbing. Magari was looking down on me with contempt in her eyes, but also a certain intensity that seemed more akin to desperation than anything. Ayumi Shinozaki, here's one fact you should know. Once the 7th pillar, the Sephiroth of knowledge, starts up, it's all over. The end of the world is carved in stone. However, Magari closed in as if our lips were about to touch. Sachiko growled again, but Magari was clearly not intimidated in the slightest. The Book of Shadows isn't gone yet. What? You came in contact with the original book, so once you drew the blood from the Shinozaki, you may be able to fight Mitsuo. I was still hesitating, and Magari apparently didn't much like that. God, just come the fuck on. Suddenly, Magari was pulling up the top of my uniform. My plump white stomach was now fully exposed. That piece of shit book is right here. She pointed at the spot just below my belly button. What? As she did so, my stomach started growling with an unearthly roar and shifted in place slightly. Yee! It was almost like there was a snake slithering around inside of me. Sure would have been nice if you'd noticed that a little sooner. That thing's been sleeping inside of you since you first used its power in the basement of Yoshi's Shinozaki's estate. Magari crossed her arms and snorted. Of course, it's only a container. Nothing's in it right now. Growl. Alright, so that's obviously the Book of Shadows growling. Growling like a cocky bastard. The growling that came from within my own body sounded like that of a wild beast. There's no way. Is this for real? I was actually tricked. Pretty good. Or originally, the Elder sent me to support you in your efforts to obtain the Book of Shadows from the Elder Realm, among other things. Okay. But of course, that still means I was planning on stealing it from you as soon as you got your hands on it. Now though, that doesn't matter. If the world's going to pot, there's not really any meaning in becoming the heir of Martubas anymore, is there? And that just fucking sucks. Huh? It all goes back to Misuto. If that little fucker thinks he's won the war, he's got another thing coming. Don't you just want to slaughter him like a pig right now? You should stop being such a pussy and look at all the things you're capable of. There'll be a time enough to abandon all your potential after you're dead. My eyes began to well up again. Are you saying there's still something I can do? Magari's expression turned deadly serious. Do whatever you can to bring the Book of Shadows out of your body and gain control over it. If the book recognizes your determination, it should extract itself naturally. And if you want to have the power of the book at your disposal, it'll lead you the way right back to Masudo's Nirvana. Alright, Magari. See you later. I could only stare indiscriminately at my abdomen. Magari took this opportunity to open the front door, again to illustrate her point. Outside, the weather was still completely anomalous, and with hurricane-like winds, debris, clouds everywhere. The clouds above us, too, were moving abnormally fast through the disconcerting blood-red sky. Every few seconds, a sound not unlike a spark plug firing could be heard, echoing from the distance as another black flame ignited, burned itself out in some random spot. I mean, you're going to lie down and die in this world either way, so what have you got to lose? Show me how tough you are, while you've still got the chance. Just remember, the book was born from black magic. It adorns cruelty and blood. With those parting words, Magari disappeared into the city, with the sounds of her heels clacking softer and softer until they were no longer audible at all. Sachiko and I could do nothing but see her off. The entire nation was now plagued with the entity walls and black silhouette-like spirits of the dead. The entity walls were rapidly destroying schools, downtown bypasses, and other crucial traffic cornerstones, and even residential shelters, creating countless new casualties by the minute. People were running into the streets, panicked and confused, and almost certainly not much longer for this world. Where are we supposed to go? It doesn't matter. Just run or you'll be crushed. What about overseas? How are you gonna get over there with the sky and ocean both screwed up? Meanwhile, in Miss Kuwan's office, the black silhouette agents watched in horror as each TV monitor displayed a feed from a different news network across the world, and the story was exactly the same on all of them. Boss, what are we supposed to do? So this is happening all over the world. How is a book supposed to recognize my determination? What the hell am I supposed to do? Alright, let's see. I don't have to go to the kitchen right now. There's nothing I need to do right here. Alright, let's see what's in here. So we're gonna enter this room. Let's see what room this is. This is Hinoe's room. And we're gonna pick this up. So that's the save point. I guess we can save real quick. Alright, we'll save over this. And actually, before we do that, I'm gonna head upstairs and check that out because I wanna kind of look around. This is pretty cool. Alright, there's no reason. Okay, never mind. I guess I'm not doing that. We're gonna go over here and talk to that knife. So if you guys remember, that knife is from earlier. I think it was like the first chapter.